Hello and welcome to another episode of the FPL Hangover podcast where we raise the bar and lower the tone on all things FPL related. We are coming to you after, I want to say, the second international break of the season so far. It's zipping by and we're here on Tuesday the 12th of October. There's a couple of internationals being played tonight. There's a few being played tomorrow, but realistically no one's going to know jack shit until Friday. That's the way things usually are after an international break, and it's no different this time. But we got a pod anyway, and we're here and we're going to be looking ahead to game week 8 as best we can. I'm not alone. It's a bit of a full house this evening. We've got my two podcast partners in crime. Paddy, how are you getting on, my friend?
Not too bad. Good to be back.
It's good to have you. And Seamus, how do you do?
Howdy doody. I'm all good. How are you?
Not too bad. I'm happy to be here. It's been a long old international break. It usually is. How's it been for you? How's things been, Seamus?
Yeah, it's been fine. I've just been extremely busy. Work, family life. Haven't really watched any of the international football. It's good to get the break from FPL, but on the back of a bad game week 7, I don't know whether I like the international break or I would rather just get straight back into it the following week. I think I would rather just have another game week, quite quickly after a bad game week and go into an international break with a green arrow. It's not the case this week.
Yeah, no, 100%. It was a very, very low scoring game week 7, and that can make the international break kind of drag on a little bit. Paddy, you glad to be back? You also had a miserable enough game week 7.
Yeah, I'm glad to be back. I missed you guys. I just missed the old FPL chat. Like, I did feel lost. I think I actually put out a podcast tweet last week,
you did.
That's how bad I missed you guys. Love that the FPL chat's starting to resurface again, and it's consuming my timelines rather than the other stuff. I had a shit week. Thanks for pointing that out as well. Yeah.
Well, I mean, how long do you think you want to get away from it? It's FPL. I mean, the red arrows are worth almost more than the green arrows when it comes to kind of just chatting shit on a podcast, wouldn't you say?
Exactly. Well, you know what? I don't care. Someone needs to be a beacon of light for the people that are over the million OR, unlike you two guys who are flying.
Yeah. How did game week 7 end up for you, Seamus, actually, in the end?
For me, I got 35 points after my hit. Yeah, so I think we all took hits this week, right?
Yeah, I did.
Yeah. I did as well.
I found a genius move that I decided to make midweek. I was very certain it was going to be an excellent move. Originally I had plans in my head like selling Ronaldo and things like that for Antonio to free up funds, and I thought, you know what, OR wise, Ronaldo still or effective ownership wise I should say, Ronaldo's quite highly owned. If he does bang this week and I've sold him, then I could be screwed. So I said, you know what, I'll keep him, take the hit. So I managed to squeeze in Antonio for Scarlet, so now I've got like 15 playing players, but it meant selling Trent for Alonso, who didn't play. I probably didn't need to. And then my other transfer brought in was Gallagher for Jota. None of them did anything. Although I think there were certainly 2 were kind of players I like. Alonso, I'm going to hold this week because I think there's a good enough chance that he could play against Brentford. I don't know if Chilwell is just going to play the next 5 in a row, or if it's going to be Alonso one week, Chilwell next, and vice versa. So let's see. If he doesn't play this week, he'll be on the chopping block for the following week. But I'm not taking another hit so soon after last week.
How did it feel actually when Alonso was rested? Was that something you were kind of prepared for? It feels like forever now, but now with Chilwell knocking on the door, I know if I was an Alonso owner, I'd be just like, fuck's sake. Right now, right? Chilwell had to score a goal last week.
Yeah, the Chilwell scoring was kind of the annoying thing. So when he conceded the penalty, I was kind of in a way I still had Rudiger. I was still kind of like, okay, well, now that I only have one Chelsea player, this is why I got Alonso, because I knew if I only had one Chelsea player for this period, even though they're still not hugely owned just yet, they might be in the FPL community on Twitter, but the general population don't have like a lot of double Chelsea.
Yeah. I think Seamus might have dropped off there. He's back. Are you back, Seamus? I think we
Sorry.
lost you for a sec.
How much did that cut out?
Not a lot. Maybe 5 seconds. Not a whole lot.
Oh, okay. Well, the bottom line is when Chilwell conceded that penalty, I was quite happy because it meant a lot of people were losing their double. Chelsea defence, I was only losing my single. And I kind of felt confident when Alonso didn't start that he wouldn't play. That's kind of the reason I said I take a chance on him. I still felt like there was a slightly higher than 50% chance he would play, but I knew Chilwell was there. A lot of people on the FPL community were very certain Chilwell, would start this week, just gone. And look, they were right, but I don't know. I think it was just a case of, I could have been just as certain that Alonso would start, but I don't know how people kind of can be that convinced of something because of a 30-minute appearance against, or 45-minute appearance against Juventus. So,
yeah, I think it's from what I was gathering, it seemed to be kind of coming off the forums a lot. A lot of the kind of Chelsea fans are kind of throwing it out there, and yeah, as you said, it turned out to be true. I don't know, as you said, where anything lies right now in regards to who's in the first 11, but it's going to be interesting to monitor over the next couple of weeks. And as like someone like myself, a non-Alonso owner, I'm going to be hoping for mass rotation, but I'll be shitting myself whenever he does start because he looks lethal. Paddy, how did your game week 7 go? Whereabouts are you now? Any specific reminders?
Yeah, I'm just having a look here. I also took a hit, made 3 transfers, or the mini wildcard as they call it. Out went Jota, Bamford and Trent, and in came Lukaku, blank, Rudiger, clean sheet, busted, and brought in Smith Rowe. It wasn't a great week, but I mean, it was a great week not to have a good week. I think a lot of people suffered this week. I'm looking at the team here now. It's not great. There is a few things that I'm quite happy about, or that I'm optimistic about, I should say. And I'm looking there. I've got the double Chelsea defense now. I hope Christensen and Rudiger, and I have my front 3 that I wanted: Ronaldo, Antonio, and Lukaku. And we won't even talk about the midfield.
Yeah. I mean, like you said, you're happy to it is now. I feel you've mentioned before we started recording that you're very happy to still have Ferran Torres.
Oh yeah, 100%. I'm gonna stand by that. Yeah, I think he's a super differential now, and the next 3 games are amazing, and he has to start. He has to start these games. There is no I'm feeling good about it. Yeah.
Seamus, do you want to jump in?
I was just going to ask, did he get any minutes against Liverpool? Because I know he hadn't started the last few games, but didn't come on in some of those games as well.
He got no minutes against Liverpool.
So how are you so confident he has to start if he's not even coming off the bench?
I think that it's Pep, isn't it?
Who's not starting? Who's he gonna play for Torres in front of?
Well, I don't have a fucking clue about that, right? Let's face it.
I mean, Gundogan is going to come back, and so and there's also Sterling there.
Did he not score a hat trick in one of his games as well over the internationals?
I think he got a brace in one of Spain's games.
I know he scored, yeah.
And have the other guys there have been a bit shit. I mean, where's the goals coming from?
Yeah, well, I mean,
if I had him at this stage, I'd keep him coming up to Burnley. These other fixtures, because there will be some rotation, so he will play some games. So you might as well just keep him.
I've made spoiler alert. I've made my transfer. All right, it was either him going or Traore.
You've made your transfer.
It's not Traore.
Yeah, who would you get out? Who would you get rid of?
Torres.
Just stick by his convictions. No, I would have got rid of Traore.
No, I know. Cheers. Yeah, but anyway, guess who I brought in?
Oh, let me guess. You brought in a certain Brazilian that is maybe not going to play this weekend because.
Yeah. I brought in Rafinha, and look, I went early because I thought Traore was going to drop like a stone. Did he drop? Probably not.
I will check for you right now. Traore.
Not on my radar, so I'm not.
He's currently 6 million. So if you got him for more than that, then he did drop.
Yeah, I got him for like
6.7. No, you didn't get him for 6.7. But I think it's a fine. I'm giving you shit because I think I rambled on for 5 minutes about waiting until Friday. This was before we started recording. Waiting until Friday, because there's so much shit. I just, blah, 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 blah. And then you went, yeah, I have my transfer. Yeah, did it there a week ago. I was just like, Paddy, you're semi-professional now. You're supposed to be taking this seriously.
I know. I need to start acting like a semi-professional FPL player. But come here, look. I am only semi at the minute. Not caught up with you pros yet. Look, I think. Let me tell you now, guys, to both of you. I assure you, from now on in, I'm going to see that 1.4 million I am at the minute.
Yeah.
That's starting to move.
So you set yourself a nice big fucking target to begin with, anyway.
Yeah, to 2.5 million.
Well, this time last year, I think it was like something like 2.6 million, Paddy. So if you play your cards just right, you can end up at 135k like I did last year.
What a humble brag there. That's amazing. What an absolute humble brag there. No, but true.
That's not humble brag. That's the opposite. I'm actually slating myself.
No, I'm not. I know. I'm only joking. But no, 100% Seamus. And there's people out there that need to hear that. It's not the end of the fucking world. And I'm so positive that I'm going to get another. I only got my first last year. I'm going to get a top 100k finish.
I love that. That's
top 150k.
You could be 100k by Christmas.
Can I say I want to be a top 150k finish this year. That's what I'm going for.
No, it is way too early to be setting the fucking standards back. I want to finish worse than I did last year. It's only game week fucking 7. You could we saw. Was it 2-3 years ago? Just fucking start smashing. He was having this rotten year. He smashed his rank down, and you think he got inside the top 20k. Do you know what I mean? Like,
you know what? You're fucking right. I'm gonna get an Az wristband, and anytime I'm in doubt, I'm gonna go, what would Az do?
Oh well, that won't be the only time you're looking at it. I know how your mind works, Eddie. But tell me, Seamus, Paddy's already made his transfer for next week. What are you looking at? Have you looked towards Gameweek 8 yet?
Yeah, I'm probably gonna roll it. As I'm looking at it right now, so Alonso could be a problem. He mightn't play, but I would hope if he doesn't start, he doesn't play any minutes, kind of like he did this week. Chilwell generally tends to play 90 minutes when he plays, so there is a part of me that hopes, because of Brentford's size, they're quite a tall team, that he might be drafted in for defending set pieces, for corners and things like that. So if he does start, we know how much he likes to attack. Like I have visions of people selling him this week and him starting and getting like a 15-point haul, after scoring and getting a clean sheet. But Brentford's going to be a tough game, so it's not really. They could easily score.
You say visions. Other people would say delusions.
Yeah.
Can I ask a question here? Who are the nailed Chelsea defenders now?
Rudiger.
Yeah,
right,
Rudiger, who's flagged this week, funnily enough.
Yeah.
That is something we wanted to touch on, and you're right, Paddy. Like, who are the nail Chelsea? I think Rudiger, Aspilicueta, and then that's like the two.
That's it.
Maybe Mendy, and even he's not 100% guaranteed. I think he will, play most of the matches, but I'm just waiting for that Kepa appearance again.
I think he's as nailed as Aspilicueta is. Aspilicueta will play 9 out of 10 games. I think you're right. Rudiger will play 9 out of 10 games.
So I have no hope for Christensen.
No, I think Christensen's a good shout for his money. I think
he's a 7 out of 10. He's going to play 7 out of 10. I reckon.
Yeah,
I'll take that.
I think for the price he's offering, for the weeks he does play, that especially with the kind of blue run of fixtures that Chelsea suddenly have. That when he does get a game, you're going to be delighted to have a double Chelsea defense, and he does. I mean, I haven't actually got the stats to back this up, but I'm going to blindly state that he doesn't often come on. When he doesn't start, I don't see how regular bringing on centre back is anyway for Chelsea. But yeah, so I think like the big question is James apparently is back as well. Now I don't think he'll be in contention this week, but I thought he was out for much longer, and I'm hearing rumors that he's already kind of starting to look like he's nearing a return, so that's like the right back is up in the air. I think it's specifically Alonso, Chilwell on the left, and then in the middle you're going to have Silva, Christensen, Rudiger and Aspilicueta kind of rotating as the season goes out, with Aspilicueta and Rudiger probably being the mainstays.
Yeah, Rudiger is the left-sided kind of centre back, or the furthest left of the 3 centre backs. So I think he's the one that's really trusted with that position. So like I said, I think he'll play 9 out of 10. And the only reason I didn't really consider Aspilicueta this week because as part of my 3 moves, I had the exact money for it for Gallagher, and
Actually,
I didn't.
I actually wanted to ask you
Yeah.
about that. I was looking at the prepping for the show today. I was looking at what happened last week, and I saw that you had 0 in the bank. And I was wondering, did that play into your decision to take the third transfer? The fact that it was just so perfectly kind of balanced out. You're going like, I just have it. It's just destiny.
Well, what actually happened was I was trying to find a way to get in Antonio. So I'd always earmarked Ronaldo out. But then I was like, they're at home to Everton. His effective ownership in around my rank is like 85 to 90%. So I was like, I don't know if I want to. I kind of, FPL hints. Ash was on the podcast a few weeks ago, and
I've
I've
heard of
been in
him.
a few spaces. Pleasure of a guy to talk to. But I think his effective ownership talk kind of got in my head a bit, and I was like, you know what? I was like 44k or at the start of before the start of last
Where are you
week.
now?
So I was like 99k. So I'm still top 100k. So I look at this game week 7. So as I said, I was 2.6 million this game week last season. So I was like, if I got a green arrow this week up from 44k, I wouldn't know what to do with the rest of the season. I'd be
Oh,
too high
really?
too early. So
So yeah.
I'm
I'm
sure I'll
like,
find a way.
no, I'd rather just double my rank there, please.
So what I said was, I'll give myself a challenge. I'll give myself a challenge. Make me think crap all of a sudden. No, I just decided, you know what? If Ronaldo does anything against Everton, and he absolutely could, he could be, as I said, on penalties or something like that. Everything just could not show up. I said I'd be really kicking myself. So I said, is there a way to get Antonio in? And Antonio was definitely coming in while keeping Ronaldo. And I was like, if I do Scarlett, there's no way to do it. And then Trent had his injury, and I was like, you know what? If I sell Jota and Trent, because I don't think I want triple Liverpool anyway over the next few fixtures, this 1 week aside, I was like, you know what? I'm going to sell Jota. If I sell Trent as well, I could get someone, about 5.96 million. And I was like, wanted Alonso. And I was like, and you know what? This allows me to get that Paddy
Yeah,
Gallagher move.
yeah. I was gonna say
Conor
Paddy Gallagher.
Gallagher. The Conor Gallagher move I've been kind of looking at. I didn't really. There was other guys I was looking at, like Smith Rowe. I knew I couldn't afford Saka, unless I wanted to get Christensen as well. And I didn't really want to get Aspilicueta because that would have meant, what would that have meant? That would have meant I would have only had 5.5. So I could have actually got Mbeumo for Mbeumo or whatever. I'm not sure how you pronounce that yet for Brentford. But I have eyed up Tony as my replacement for Ronaldo ultimately. In probably next week actually. So I don't know if I want to be doubled up on Brentford. At least I didn't before this week. Now I'm thinking maybe that's not a bad idea. So that's why I went Gallagher. Like hindsight would have told me if I went Mbeumo and Christensen or Mbeumo and Aspilicueta, I'd be 15, 18 points better off this week. But that's hindsight. Gallagher's still a fine pick. Alonso, if he doesn't start this week, when I downgrade Ronaldo to Tony next week, he could become Cancelo. Or go back to Trent maybe, but probably Cancelo.
Yeah.
And I also knew I had the bench to deal with the benching because now I actually have 15 players. Like my bench the week just gone was like Livramento, Sissoko, and it was Cody, and I got Cody off the bench, so I'm not worried about people not
Yeah,
playing.
no, I mean like that makes sense to me. I think like obviously Livramento picking up another assist this week, winning the penalty against Chelsea, that would have been massively beneficial if he had come off the bench for you, but no, you did get Cody, and I don't blame you. I think was it Newcastle this week at Wolves were against? It's been again. It was a
It was Newcastle,
and apparently Hendrick scored with
think
one of Newcastle's 2 shots or something like that.
Yeah, such a when Jeff Hendrick scores, that they're obviously fucking terrible. So I can't believe that because I was going to go into this week if I didn't sell Trent, I would have been playing Cody and Marcel anyway. So I kind of just it's kind of annoying because I took a hit for a player that didn't play. But look, whatever.
Seamus, all in all, there, like it sounds like you're really happy with where you're at now at the moment with your team.
Was happier last week, Petty.
Which is great.
No.
Yeah, but I mean, like, oh my God,
Gerald always
sticking him.
Yeah, no, I'm kind of not because I kind of don't really want Ronaldo. I want to kind of divest those funds.
Or she was, I was listening to you there, and I just fell in love with your team, like, and your planning and everything, and don't be upset. Like you're perfect.
I'm happy to keep Ronaldo this week against Leicester, though. But like, this is the last week. He's definitely going. There's too much money in that forward line, and I'm going to take that money. I'm going to spread it like Nutella,
silage,
marmalade, all over the toast of my back line. And,
I love that.
Yeah. No, I'm going to also change Sarr. Although, look, I wasn't looking forward to having Sarr this week against Liverpool, but now that Ranieri's here.
What have I done, Jer?
I don't know. I do want to ask the two of you, and it's a good point, Seamus, you did mention Ranieri, and we'll probably jump onto that. But while we're on the defence, like, you're both talking about going heavy, neither of you have discussed whether or not bringing Trent back in, who has now been confirmed fit for game week 8. At least, I think he has. Neither of you mentioned bringing him back in. Are you both happy to just, like, that's done, that decision's been made, and now I'll wait a couple of weeks?
Well, look, come here. Of course, everyone who got rid of him now, the people that held him are really happy. But like, it's no big deal. Like, he's got Watford now, okay, and then he's got United.
Yeah.
You know.
Have you seen United?
Maybe I plan to get him back. I know. I mean, but like, they can score goals.
Yeah,
well,
they can.
You know, I mean, I'm not pasting over United or anything. I mean, what I am saying is that I'm sure I could be without Trent for 2 game weeks if need be, and maybe get him back if I really want. Like, because then they have Brighton, and they have West Ham, and Arsenal. It's not. Yeah, I'm not.
Sounds
I'm
like
not
you're talking
overly
yourself out of it, Paddy. Like, it's getting worse.
I mean, it's fixable in 2 game weeks, like. And what's he going like? Watch him now, fucking explode next 2 game weeks.
Trent is Trent. We always want Trent, but like, he is very expensive. And I think I would rather have Cancelo anyway next 2 weeks. I just did a stupid move and just didn't get Cancelo, and
But you have Alonso, so that's what I was wondering. Like, do you think, like, I suppose for me, I would be wondering, should I just go Alonso back to Trent? Now I know that's not possible for you, Seamus, because you don't have the extra funds in the bank, and going -4 would be silly. I get that, but if someone did have the money still there, and they were maybe planning on like Trent being out a little bit longer than he is or is going to be, assuming he fucking plays. This is all based on that. But like, would you advocate getting him back in? Like, how long do you think you can go without him? I mean, I genuinely think he's lethal. So
yeah, he's one of those season keepers, isn't he? But
apparently not.
No, I think. Well, it was injured,
I know.
I'm
just
always
a
a
bitch
chance.
to see it.
Do you ever want to just punch Jared in the face? Seamus?
I want to punch
Very punchable face.
Can I say something a minute as well, right? I've got 2 Chelsea defenders, right? Fair enough, maybe 1.5. But I'm quite happy to keep those 2 Chelsea defenders for the next 4 games, which are Brentford, Norwich, Newcastle, and Burnley over Trent. Maybe after those 4 game weeks, I'll have a look then at Trent. Also, Trent. Fuck you, I want Trent. He'll be in every wild card, won't he? All the wild carders will have him in. But I'm quite happy having my double Chelsea defense.
If you're a wild carder, you're going to have him. Look, the way I put it, sure, the question you posed was if you had Alonso and you had the money to go back to Trent this week, would you? Yeah. Look, I think I would definitely consider it. But if I didn't have Cancelo, I think Cancelo is the move I'd rather make. I'd be like, I could go back to Trent, or I could just take this 4-week ride on Cancelo, and then try and get Trent in a couple of weeks' time when fixtures are okay. Look, Watford is a fantastic fixture. United away, don't think I necessarily would want him for that anyway. Maybe I'm biased because I'm a United fan. Brighton at home, Brighton are pretty good, these days.
Brighton are good
away,
defensively.
they score goals.
Yeah, Antonio was scoring goals. Yeah, I'm happy enough. I mean, I'm happy to not have Trent for the next 4 game weeks while I have my double Chelsea or. I
stick a pin in this, and this is something we'll revisit in a couple of weeks.
I'm just hoping he doesn't go nuts this week. That's all I want.
Yeah.
If he gets 6 points this week, I'm happy, but I'll be happy enough. But I just don't want him to getting a double-digit haul this week or a 9-pointer. If he gets 5 or 6, preferably he gets nothing. But if he gets 5 points, hopefully Sarr scored, so he's lost his clean sheet, but he maybe gets an assist. I'll deal with that. That's fine. I just don't want to be crucified by it. And the way I think about it is he's like, part of me's kind of thinking, if I go back to Liverpool defence, maybe I go Van Dijk. Van Dijk's kind of turning in my head a small bit because the money you could save.
You don't save that much.
Goals.
That's crazy talk.
7 million.
What? But that's not a lot, really, is it?
But that's sure that makes Marcel Rudiger or something like that.
Not,
With tiny bit of
not
height
anymore.
change.
You know, like what's Rudiger now? He's 5 points.
5'6",
He's
is he?
5'8".
I
He's
don't know. Maybe
5.8
he's more.
now. He's here in front of
Fuck
me.
off,
He's
is he?
5.8.
Okay, yeah.
Yeah.
Maybe. Okay, I haven't seen an eye on him so much. So
Yeah,
maybe not him.
but we know what you meant, Seamus. You could put
Yeah.
that money
I disagree,
elsewhere,
though.
you know.
I just want to
Yeah.
clarify that.
Makes
No,
sense.
no.
Don't let.
It makes Shaw.
No,
bad
I'm not
man
being the
fuck
bad man right here
Yeah.
to suggest that if you're willing to put what's Van Dijk 6.5, I'd imagine. I can't believe how little I know of the price changes this year. But if he's 6.5,
what's
well, he's
Cancelo?
6.2. But if Van Dijk is 6.5, then surely you find that million for Trent. No, like come on, free kicks, corners.
I don't know, but look at it. I mean, that's part of what I think. But if you just look at it over the last 3 seasons, like Van Dijk is almost, apart from like obviously last season when Van Dijk missed like 95% of the season, Van Dijk kind of has matched him for points because he will get these odd 15 pointers where he scores a goal and gets max bonus.
I don't think that Van Dijk is a bad shout. I would just I view him as an addition to Trent and not really as a replacement for him. But I guess as I said, we'll come back and we'll revisit it. I am one of the 3 of us who didn't get rid of him this week, and since none of you asked, I guess I'll run through how Game Week 7 went for me. I got 52 points overall, -4, so 48. Whatever that's called. Net, is it net profit? Net, yeah. Is that net or gross? I can never.
You got 52 gross. You got 48 net.
Boom,
after
bingo.
tax.
Yeah. So got taxed my 4 points. Didn't work out either. Just like the lads. Luke, I went Ronaldo to Lukaku. Like I was really like last minute transfers here as well, but I won't dwell on it too long. But Ronaldo to Lukaku didn't get anything from him. Obviously, I don't know how he didn't score from that fucking one that hit the post that turned into an Aspilicueta assist. I was like, what? But did get my Jimenez double digit and Doucouré, a fucking hero, coming in again with 5 points. I mean, come on, like
oh my god,
amazing,
how is I don't know how Doucouré is still doing it. Like he's delta over his expected goals and assists is insanely high.
This isn't the first time he's done this in FPL. That's the thing. Like,
no, I mean he's getting into advanced positions,
yeah,
and stuff like that. But like he's getting 1.5 chance a game and he's scoring it. It's just like you can't just score all these half chances that are like these kind of low XG chances. He's also getting assists from passing it kind of 5 yards sideways in the field, and then somebody smashes in for 30 yards. Like, for fuck's sake.
I'll let Gray do all of the hard work, and then I'll just softly pass it into Townsend's pass. I'll take it. 5 points. He is starting to pose a rotation headache for me in the sense of like, whoa, how am I going to know when to not play him? Like this week is a perfect example against West Ham, a team who do concede. I don't think they're anywhere near as defensively solid as they were last season. And yeah, I'm up in the air, about who I play. He does rotate okay with Gallagher at the moment. And he was the other transfer I took to make the -4, which didn't work out. All in all, Jota out, Ronaldo out, Lukaku, Gallagher. I think I'd have been up maybe 2 points or whatever. Like I don't know. I think it was the captain decision that fucked me up last week, and it's a lot clearer this week because I know I'll be captaining Salah in Game Week 8, Saturday morning kickoff. Be damned. What about you, Petty?
Goodness.
Who you captain?
Well, it's at the moment it's on Salah, but I was looking at the Leicester City stats, and I tweeted about it earlier. Said that is Leicester got the worst defensive record for shots in the box, and I was thinking about maybe going Ronaldo, but I'll probably go Salah.
Interesting,
I think
Seamus.
that's
Salah for me. Yeah, no question.
What about what Paddy asked? Like, just you're talking
I'm happy.
shit, Paddy. Bang.
I'm happy to keep Ronaldo, but I don't want to captain him.
yeah.
I kind of happier to captain Ronaldo at home games rather than away games. I know United have a really good away record, but like Leicester, yeah, they've been actually terrible this year defensively. Soyuncu is a shadow of the player he was the last couple of seasons. He's been probably the most disimproved player since last season. He's been absolutely awful. Every time I look at him, he's giving away a penalty, or he's just been caught woefully out of position, I think of that goal he gave away the ball to Lukaku, who set up in Rama
Yeah.
against West Ham. You know, he's
Antonio.
just
Antonio, who set up in Rama.
yeah, what did I say?
Lukaku.
Sorry, Antonio. I thought I said Tony or something for a minute. That would have made more sense. But no, yeah, I think of that goal. Yeah, Johnny Evans is kind of constantly injured and stuff like that. So yeah, Vestergaard hasn't really. He's still kind of settling. Yeah, and they have Amartey as well playing some games. Yeah, it's just a bit of a fire sale back there. So yeah, they're not too good going forward, but they're still Leicester, and they're still. I still don't think there's going to be a ton of goals in that game. Whereas I think back to that game a few seasons back. I think Salah got like a hat trick against Watford one game. Been reviewing a lot of his like goals because he scored an amazing goal against City. Obviously, this week just gone, he was like the only player that kind of did anything apart from Sanchez in my team. But everyone on my timeline and on Twitter has been like goals, amazing goals he scored, and there just seemed to be quite a few of them against Watford. So I was like, yeah, he likes to score against Watford, and I know it's the early game, but
do you really buy into that shit? I mean, like,
no.
I know that for me, I don't like to have my captain play the early game if I can avoid it, because I just don't want my game week to be just said and done on the half 12 kickoff. Yeah. But if it's a clear option, like clearly the best option, I don't think twice. It's not about the time for me. It's just more of a kind of liking to enjoy the week. I'd always prefer a Monday night captain. Do you know, that kind of way? Just because it gives you that little bit of hope.
I mean, if Lukaku was playing Norwich this week instead of Norwich at home next week, but no question, I would avoid the Salah Watford captaincy and I'd go for the Lukaku game because for the same reason. It's just I know that I'm going to be in shit form for the rest of the Saturday if my captain blanks or if you know.
Are Liverpool at home?
No, they're away.
Interesting. Away and there to kick off.
I am interested in
new manager bounce.
Yeah, I don't have Trent for that game, but I have Sarr, so I'm definitely going to be interested in watching that one. Especially if Ranieri sets up his teams to kind of counterattack like the way he did with Leicester last season when they won the league. Sarr is obviously quite a fast player, so I think he could be good on the transition. And yeah, let's see. I just want I would have benched him or considered selling him this week, but I think I'll play him now. But that means benching Livramento. I want to play Livramento. Yeah, I want to play him. Who actually? Good question for you. Would you play Livramento at home to Leeds this week or Marcel away to Villa?
Oh,
are you doubling up? Sorry, Paddy, go on.
What ahead?
No. I give the floor to you.
I'd probably play Livramento.
Livramento home to Leeds, okay.
You idiot. No, just joking. Are you doubling up on Wolves?
No, at the minute, I'll tell you, Marcel is in my team and Livramento is my first sub in the eventuality that Alonso doesn't play.
Yeah. I think if I was just going like individual, like not doubling on Wolves, I would probably go Wolves Villa. I'd prefer that. I think Leeds might get one against Livramento, but
Is Bamford back? Is Rafinha going to play?
That's exactly. That's what I'm saying. Really
that's
good
the only
points.
thing that's what's just put me,
And Livramento's done enough to surely warrant a bit of a consideration. Like, he's got a great. Yeah, no, I'm with you. I'm just saying, if it was me, I know I'd go Wolves just because there's a lot of people on Wolves at the moment. But there's also a fuck ton on Livramento, to be honest.
But it's more so because I think Aston Villa have looked so blunt in attack.
That's what I
mean. Anytime I've watched them.
Yeah.
That's the real reason I was going to. And we know Leeds like to just attack. But yeah, Bamford is ruled out, and there's a strong possibility Rafinha doesn't play. Then maybe I want to, but I don't know. Yeah, Livramento against who plays on the left side of Purple for Leeds. Yeah, I don't know. It's a real coin toss there, but Sissoko's last with it, and Cody's second last. Yeah, sorry. Jer, what are your potential transfers this week, or are you gonna roll? I'm rolling.
Someone asking me a question. See, now that I love it. It's fucking strange. My transfer this week is. Sorry, I'm just trying to pull up the screenshot. But my transfer this week is straightforward. It's Luke Shaw. Get the fuck out of my team. That's the worst mistake I've made this season. That's the mistake I've made this season. Unless, maybe the -4 last week. It's close. But Shaw just a bad call. I think it was a 50-50. I think it could have gone either way, but it didn't go that way, and I'm glad to be getting rid of him for Cancelo. So
Sayonara.
yeah,
it's a beautiful move.
So
I saw you had like 3 million in your bank or 3.3 million, so I was like, oh, he's definitely getting Cancelo in. And when I looked at him, I was like, Shaw's probably out.
Yeah.
But I'd forgotten about that was earlier today, so I'd forgotten about what you might do. But that's a good move, yeah.
Yeah, it seems pretty. Like I will put it to ye though, because it is one of the questions I've been asking myself. Cancelo or Diaz? Cancelo or Diaz, whatever way you want to say it.
Cancelo.
6.2, 6.1. Paddy?
Go for the upside.
I'm going Cancelo as well.
Cancelo has that potential to just, if he... Well, actually, oh no, you're still there. He has that upside that he could completely smash it this season with loads of assists.
He could be this year's Trent.
Trent is already this year's Trent.
We don't know.
Well, he's been, before that injury, he was on an insane run of points. Sorry, I'm not going to go back to...
He could be this year's cheaper Trent.
Yeah, no, I mean,
exactly,
like... Yeah, you're right. And the fact
that... Trent for 1.5 million cheaper.
Yeah.
The fact that both of you are suggesting Cancelo makes me want to go Diaz. I don't know what I don't know what that's about. I think I'm feeling antagonistic this evening, and I don't know why. But it'll most likely be Cancelo was my first plan. So yeah, I think Shaw to Cancelo, and then as I said, Captain Salah for me, Captain Salah for Seamus, and Paddy probably Salah, but maybe.
Yeah, no, Seamus nearly talked me into Ronaldo there.
Okay, so you're going to Captain Rafinha out of nowhere.
Yeah, probably.
Yeah.
Any transfer? Oh yeah, you've already made your transfer.
Oh yeah, I've made the transfer. Done the rookie mistake, but I did tell you that I was afraid of a price drop, and I just wanted to get rid. And you can't trust these websites anymore with their information, so I had to move early.
You can't trust anything with your information anymore.
No, you just can't trust anything anymore with the information that you get. I had to make that move early.
Yeah, I think that's fair enough. Before we move on to our mini league updates and blah blah blah, I just wanted to check in on any more talking points that we might have missed. We kind of touched on Brentford. Now I know that's more of a game week 9 thing because this week they are against, I believe it's Chelsea. But for anyone on a wild card, they will be looking at kind of maybe saving themselves a transfer down the line. And we've already talked about Mbuemo, Tony. Are any of you? I'm going to get in there now. Like, are you, Seamus, looking at getting in some Brentford assets next week? Because you said Tony. Yeah. Like that's 100% what you're doing. Ronaldo out, Tony in.
Pretty certain that's what I'm going to do. I mean, the only other reason I mightn't get Tony is if I get my head turned towards Dominic Calvert-Lewin. Now they're playing West Ham this week, and he did play for England during the international break. So I'm kind of like, I could just do it this week, but as I said,
DCL played for England,
didn't he?
Oh, maybe he did. I did hear everyone talk about him coming back, and I was like, where are they getting this information? But that explains it. Sorry, my bad.
I should double check that. No, I'm pretty sure I heard he led the line for England in the game just gone, but I haven't watched the game, and I didn't double check the lineups. That's certainly what I saw on social media. But yeah, look, in game week 9, he plays Watford at home, then Wolves away, and then Tottenham at home. So could go for him, but I think really I'm going to get into that Brentford run. Leicester at home, Burnley away, Norwich, Newcastle. So yeah, you could even go from this week if you really wanted to, but like I'm happy to keep Ronaldo one more week against Leicester.
Yeah. As Paddy's mentioned multiple times, most shots.
Yeah, I don't think I'm going to double up with Mbuemo, but I think Mbuemo is a fine option too, but I made my bed with Conor Gallagher, and I'm going to line it with my bed with Conor Gallagher. So yeah, Tony, the real appeal there is the penalties. And Brentford look like, a lot of stuff is going through Tony. So even just flick-ons from long balls, he's going to get assists from things like that. But when he's in the box, he looks like a good finisher. He scored a nice goal against Liverpool that was ruled off for offside, but he finished it well. So I've liked what I've seen.
Yeah, I mean, like, I'm looking at Paddy's team there, and as he mentioned, he already got out Traore. And I'm looking around to the likes of Gilmore, Williams, Ayling. Like, they're kind of those lower budget players that you're going to want to maybe kind of tweak or upgrade. And Brentford look to be offering, like, just the easiest option in after this. Yeah, an escape, exactly. Who have you got your eye on, Paddy?
Yeah, I'm looking at the flavour of the week. Mbuemo, is it?
Yeah.
Mbuemo. How much is Mbuemo?
We just call him Kinder.
Kinder, yeah, I like
Kinder
that.
and
It's
Kinder
easier.
and Bueno. You putting us on the spot. I don't know how much it is. I
Well,
think
who
it's
gives a
five
fuck?
point
He's cheap. He's
seven.
cheap.
Yeah, yeah.
But look, look, I've got a few like little fires here. Like I've Torres, but I'm gonna,
Torres is your man for the next 3 game
yeah,
weeks. He's
yeah.
not leaving your fucking
Well,
team.
we'll see. All right, but I'm actually thinking about.
But if he doesn't play this week, Paddy, he's 100% going to play the week after.
Exactly,
That's the logic.
Exactly. But I'm going to sit maybe tight for. I think I need to just calm down and stop being so hasty here now at the moment. There was a lot of panic fires and things I was trying to do, but I'm going to sit tight with this team for 2 weeks. I'm going to roll transfer, and I'm going to keep Ronaldo for the Liverpool game as well, and hope to fuck that everyone sells him.
And Buemo has got scandalous low ownership. He's actually had no one transferring in this week, which is kind of a bit crazy. I guess it's because they're playing Chelsea, right?
Chelsea,
But look at the likes of Hwang has had nearly 200,000 transfers in this week. Townsend has had like 287k. Even Salah somehow is still being bought by 180k managers, But like, Mbuemo is like, I think he's like down 20. He's like nearly off the page. He's like barely in the top 30 transfers. He's like 27th for transfers. 55k people have transferred him in this week. He's still only 1.6% owned. 5.5 million.
Quite good little differentials.
Player.
Yeah. Can I ask you this question now? And you may laugh at me, right? But this was put to me by a friend of mine, and he's actually thinking about bringing in Werner. What are your thoughts on that craziness?
Why?
Yeah.
He had some great logic about, that Werner might start getting some minutes or something. But I was thinking there's far too many Chelsea players actually in the team to even, he's not going to get the full 90, is he?
I don't think so. I think there definitely isn't many attacking Chelsea players we're considering. I think if you're looking at the likes of Werner, then you're probably going to look at the likes of Mount as well, who might come back on it. As far as I'm concerned, there's 3 forward spots there, and they're kind of precious at the moment. There's quite a few forwards looking for places in squads, and I don't think I want to take a punt on Werner. There's just
his minutes share, just back up what you're saying. 90 minutes in game week 1 against Crystal Palace. 1 minute in game week 2. Nothing in game week 3 against Liverpool. 8 minutes in game week 4. 20 minutes in game week 5. So basically he's played 90 minutes once in the first 5 game weeks, and then he's played 1, 0, 8, and 20. Now he's played 90 in the last 2 game weeks. Yeah. And of course, he scored against Southampton, so he could play. But Mount is back now. You've got Havertz there. You've got Pulisic will probably be back soon, and Havertz is kind of not Havertz. Ziyech is kind of floating around the place, thinking to play soft. He's trying to get Loftus-Cheek into the team now. Callum Hudson-Odoi as well. I just wouldn't think he's going to play. Lukaku's only the other one.
You've brought me to his logic. He said surely that he's given these minutes, these precious 90-minute games, and he's scored and he's brought his confidence up. Are these the games now? Do you think that he's going to drop him again in these nice run of games, or?
Well, if Lukaku's injury that he sustained on international duty, or his muscle fatigue or whatever it was, that kind of ruled him out for their final game for Belgium, is realistic and not just fake, then I think
it's definitely a phantom injury, that isn't it?
Yeah, I think it's a phantom injury, but Lukaku has played 90 minutes in the last 6 games since he's come into the team, so Lukaku's the one you want for slightly more.
Yeah, 100%.
Werner's gone from 9 million down to 9.6 already. Do we see him going back up to 9? I see you buying him as a punt for a team that aren't scoring a lot of goals. If you're getting him instead of Lukaku, it sounds like a mistake, and you definitely don't want double Chelsea attack.
Well, I think you just hit the nail on the head, though, Seamus, in the sense that Chelsea don't score a lot of goals. I'm not saying they're miserly and it'll be like a 1-0 win for Chelsea. They are capable of 2, 3, 4-0 victories, but just looking at what we've seen so far this season, they're not smashing goals in. I was kind of getting Lukaku in. I'm like, is he going to be a 6.8 point merchant? That was what I was worried about. And so far I've got double 2. We'll see how the next couple of weeks. But I think exactly the fact that they don't score a lot and all of the other things you mentioned. No, I wouldn't be looking at Werner. I do think there was one other question you had, Paddy.
Oh yeah, that was from Randy Shafter had a question, and this was quite a good question as well. But can you remind me there, or where can I find it?
I don't know if I'll phrase it as eloquently as Randy did, but I believe the gist of it, and I'll throw it out to Seamus first.
Yeah, okay.
Quite an easy, quick fire question. If there was no anuses in the world and you had to choose between shitting out your mouth or shitting out your nostrils, which would you choose and why?
Dear God.
Well,
That's in a world with no anuses. Who's hosting the pod then?
Oh, that's a good one.
I think.
Oh my God.
I think I'd go with nostrils. I think.
Really?
No, hang on. Wait, what? No, mouth. I think. No, I go mouth.
Okay.
Yeah.
If it's coming out your nostrils, then it's gonna just go all over your face anyway.
Yeah.
I think it's a lot easier to position yourself over the bowl
With a mouse.
head first in the bowl, and it's just going to be like getting sick. You know.
Well, that's good. And we will put this back to you too, Jer. But I mean, for me,
don't worry.
For me, it's definitely the mouth as well, because do you know whenever you get sick, if you're out and you're having a bad night, and then the vomit starts to come out your nostrils, it feels horrible.
Yeah.
So can you imagine that being shite?
I can.
Plus, you know, we don't even know what kind of shite it could be. It could be one of those fucking real constipated hard ones. You know, imagine that coming out your nostrils. It'd fucking
tear them.
It would fucking rip them.
Yeah.
It'd be like it'd be like childbirth. Out both your nostrils.
Oh my God, what are we talking about?
All right.
So I definitely think the mouth, you know, because it's the size that'll fit.
You get more about your mouth.
And you'd want that demon out of you, like you wouldn't want suffering out the nose.
Exactly.
So Jared, what about you?
I'm with the two of you. I think it's a unanimous decision. Out the mouth. The nostrils, it just seems like you're asking for trouble. I mean, I'm sure sometimes you'd prefer, but they're going to be up in that general vicinity of your mouth anyway if it's coming through the nose. So why bother? You know, just get it out the mouth. Get it out quicker, faster, as James said, bigger target. But yeah, cheers for that, Randy. Really brought the show up a notch.
At least they kept it on theme with Gameweek 7 anyway, because that was a fine shite.
Utter shite. But it wasn't utter shite for everyone. And I believe we do have a small matter of the mini league to talk about before we wrap up. No great shake-ups this week. We still have our first position being held by Helen FC. She stands at top of the mountain right now, and she's joined by FPL Ukraine in second place. Donny's Duds, Donald Hannigan in third place. FPL Dad, he's still in and around the top in fourth. The Rubber Duckies down to fifth. Sham United, the eighth, in sixth. That's a tough one. TCal, the seventh, he's in seven. Mark Lycott, he's in eighth. FCS is in ninth. And We Plan FPL, Ibrahim Ahmed, is in 10th. 10th with a H. Said that ourselves. But yeah, so no great shake-ups. And again, I haven't done Manager of the Week. I'm a fucking joke. But I believe we're closing this shortly, Seamus, right? You haven't closed it yet, yeah?
No, I was just having a look. And by the way, like Lenny FC, Helen's team that went top last week, she got Vardy this week.
Did she?
Like, she got Vardy this week. She got 54 points. She might with a hit as well. But like, she had a really good week. And I'm just looking at the Playmaker app because Paddy showed me all the new features on that, which I have to say it's quite good analysis on.
I thought I was a shill for Fantasy Football Scout this season, since I'm constantly pointing people in the direction of a link. But I think Playmakers actually got more word of mouth on this podcast than Fantasy Football Scout. That's crazy.
Well, like the sponsorship from Fantasy Football Hub is dried up now, so we have to shield something, don't we?
That's true. The secrets, the subtle sponsorships, yeah.
Yeah, so I was looking at it. Looking back at this, kind of tells you kind of how you did and how a league analysis. Excellent work. Does all the work that Paddy does with his Valhalla League each week, but like going to make this much easier for you, buddy.
Oh yeah.
So the highest point score this week, we had somebody who scored 68 points this week.
Wow.
The lowest was 24. That's a bad one. That was Dave Raquelman. But
is that early?
This week, finding Nemo FC.
Yeah.
This is early. Yeah. This week, finding Nuno.
That's a good
FC. Whose manager is Chad Bray, 68 points. They were manager of the week.
Well done, Chad.
Obviously, the highest riser. They rose 25 points. and went up 1 million positions this week with that score. So that's like
Jesus.
a nice little rank rise.
Well,
He also had the most points on the bench of all teams.
Oh yeah, he had 18 points on the bench, Chad.
Yeah,
Fuck's sake.
most points of anyone on the bench. He benched Duncan Sanchez. So
And just there while you're on your amazing league, your league leader is that
Tis,
Helene?
Helene, yeah.
Look at her transfers there. She had the best transfers this week.
Oh, she did. She brought Vardy in this week and Azpilicueta for a hit for Bamford and Alexander-Arnold. Yeah, so that's a big, and she captained Vardy as well. And it would have been more apart from Vardy's own goal, of course. So yeah, fair play, Helene.
the rich get
Unreal.
fucking richer. All right. I guess, as I said, that's still open, the league up, isn't it, Seamus? We'll leave it up until next week's episode. How about that? One more week. Just because
Do one more.
Yeah, mini league code PC0861 if anyone wants to jump in. One more week. We'll leave it open, and someone can challenge Helen for top spot. I guess we'll wrap the episode up there. Paddy, why don't you tell people where they can find you?
You can get me on Twitter. It's FPLViking_, and you can get me on Instagram, which is the Viking Dippers.
Excellent. Seamus, you have all the other nefarious details.
Yeah, you can reach out to me at FPL Drunk on Twitter. You can also just reach out to the Hangover Pod at FPL Hangover. And also you can email us at fplhangover@gmail.com. And don't forget, if you want to see our glorious faces, you can go onto YouTube and find the FPL Hangover podcast channel on that. And you'll see all our latest episodes. And make sure you like, rate, review, subscribe, and all these things so you get all the alerts when they come out.
Absolutely. Bang on. Couldn't have said it better myself. I will leave it there, folks. Thanks for joining me, lads. I hope to see you next week. Enjoy your Game Week 8s, and most importantly, God bless.